This column appears courtesy of mybookie.ag. Most casual gamblers are aware of NFL futures like win totals, Super Bowl odds, and game lines. But did you know you can make a mountain of cash by strategically wagering on potential Super Bowl matchups? Mybookie.ag offers odds on almost every Super Bowl combination. We combed through the possibilities and picked out a handful of potential matchups, with odds that make us salivate, that could come to fruition if certain things fall the right way. While we aren't outright endorsing these scenarios, the right amount of dominoes falling could make a risk on a seemingly illogical path worth a wager, as the windfall could be huge. 1. Eagles vs. Patriots 3,800. This is the only scenario in which we're going to imagine the Pats making the Super Bowl, which is part of the reason why the odds are so relatively low. The Eagles' offense was pass-happy but ineffective in 2016, with the 6th most pass attempts in the NFL, but only the 24th most yards. With Alshon Jeffrey now in the mix, and a defense that has been off-the-charts aggressive and successful this preseason, it's not out of the question for the Eagles to win the NFC East and take down Seattle, Atlanta, Minnesota, and the other NFC contenders on the path to a date with New England in the Super Bowl. 2. Cowboys vs. Dolphins 30,000. So here's what has to happen for this to come to fruition. Forget everything we just wrote about in 1. Dez Bryant has to stay healthy all year, and Ezekiel Elliott returns from suspension with fresh legs, averaging about 130 yards per game. The Cowboys' defense must finish in the top 10. Jay Cutler has to play his most inspired football of his career. The Miami wideouts have to mesh with Cutler after just a few weeks of practicing together. Julius Thomas must have a career resurgence. The Miami defense needs to live up to the hype. The beauty here is that these scenarios aren't the biggest stretches, and getting them to all click at once could happen. Bryant, Elliott, and Cutler have excelled before. Thomas has 2 12-touchdown seasons, and the Miami wideouts have unquestioned talent. It's a tremendous long shot, thus the awesome odds, but one that might be worth wagering a little something on just with the hopes of the big upside. 3. Giants vs. Chiefs 11,000. Both the Giants and the Chiefs were defensive marvels last season. The Chiefs allowed 311 points, second only to the Patriots in the AFC, while the Giants allowed 284, the fewest in the NFC and second only, overall, to the Pats. But their offenses are on opposite ends of the spectrum. The Giants have a high-flying passing game, led by Odell Beckham Jr., and supplemented by new addition Brandon Marshall. The Chiefs, meanwhile, are run-heavy, and will be led this season by rookie Kareem Hunt. Still, these opposite approaches resulted in the Chiefs and Giants combining for 23 wins in 2016, and their teams haven't had any big changes in the offseason. Big performances and likely buys from both teams in the playoffs could propel the Chiefs and Giants into the Super Bowl, and a modest wager on this matchup could return big numbers if the cards fall right. This scenario may actually be our most favorite of the three. Just to sweeten the pot, mybookie.ag is offering first-time users a 100% sign-up bonus. There's also a casino and racebook element on the site. Click here to get started.